Welcome back to Masters at Luxury, where we're talking about now your luxury business. Now, we talked a little bit about your brand, and we talked about how the brand is the nucleus of what you are offering to the marketplace, and how important it is to understand what that brand represents, but not only what you think about it, but what the marketplace thinks about it. And whether you work for a big brand, a big luxury brand that's internationally known, that has incredible heritage and history, or whether you created this brand from scratch, reinforcing what the brand represents is important. And it's also important to understand that what the brand represents can change. For example, there's a major brand that um, was known for many years as a beautiful sports shirt that was a luxury brand. But this brand began to be a article of clothing that gang members started to like and started to become attracted to. And this became a real factor around the world. And in some cases, people wearing this clothing would not be allowed entrance to certain restaurants and bars because that brand began to represent something different. So it's so important for you to keep a watch on your brand and what your customers think of your brand because that really informs how to approach your business going forward. Now, talking about your luxury business, it's important to understand that your business is a series of processes that have to be implemented effectively day to day. I like to call them systems. And if you can break down your business into a series of systems, you can make sure that your brand is represented well and that you're successful at selling. Now, when we talk about selling, we're not talking about the one way you sell or the two ways you sell. We're talking about the dozen ways you sell or the 2 dozen ways you sell. One of the mistakes that people make when it comes to sales and marketing is they come up with a great idea and they think that that idea is going to be the idea that moves the business forward solely. And the reality is, when you're growing a luxury business or any kind of business, it's really a series of ideas that will make your business successful. So when you think of your business, you have to think about all of these elements because there are a lot of factors competing for your success. Now, we talked earlier about competition. We talked about discounting. Um, there's a lot of factors that affect your luxury brand day to day. And you've got to figure out a system to respond to these issues. For example, how will you talk to your customers about the competition? Someone brings up the competition and says, hey, I can get this handbag elsewhere, or this automobile offers this, or this service is offered elsewhere. How will you respond to them? When someone talks about discounting and they get right into price, how will you respond to them on that? You see, these are all things that we're going to develop as we go forward so that you are in a position to address those issues. Now, one factor when it comes to your business is making sure that you've thought through these ideas. Just like you've thought through your brand, you've thought through the way your customer thinks about it, the way you should think about it. You want to think about your responses to these various complaints or these various objections to your business because your customer is going to raise a wide range of issues that are going to be in opposition to the way you see things. So, one of the first things you want to do is think about all of the reasons why a customer might be resistant in dealing with your business. Why would they not want to deal with you? Why would they not want to buy the product? What kinds of things are you experiencing that are stalling your business from moving forward? Let's get those things down. Let's understand what those things are so that we can work on addressing those things. If you're only selling online and you don't have a way for people to contact you offline, maybe you have to find a way to have people contact you offline. If people are only contacting you offline and no one is going online, maybe you need to pick up the phone and make some phone calls. Maybe you need to visit people face to face. You see, you have to figure out what the processes are that are going to be required to address the elements of the business that are most prominent and most a factor in moving your business forward. So, what I'm trying to get you to do in these introductory lessons is to think about what am I facing? What do I have to do strategically? How should I be thinking day to day? Because a business is a living, breathing entity. You don't come up with something one time and just implement that all the time. You are going to have to respond to market changes. So, what I want you to do in this lesson is to think about the forces that are surrounding your business and what are the systems or the processes that you have to consider to respond to those forces. There might be competition, there might be price, it might be changes in the marketplace, it might be online issues versus offline issues, it might be mobile computing, it might be any number of factors. But I want you to get those down so that we understand what the strategic issues are that have to be addressed so that you can become a master at luxury selling. I'll see you in the next lesson.